Fairytales. I'm Melissa, and today I am going to be reading Goldilocks and the Three Bears. This is by Valerie Gorbachev. So here we go. Once upon a time, there were three bears who lived together in a little cottage in the woods. There was a great big father bear, a middle-sized mother bear, and a wee small baby bear. One morning, the three bears decided to go for a walk in the woods while their breakfast porridge cooled. While they were gone, a little girl named Goldilocks came past their cottage. She peeked in the window, and when she saw that no one was at home, she went inside. There on the table sat the three bowls of porridge. The porridge smelled so delicious that Goldilocks just had to have some. First, she tried the porridge in the great big father bear's great big bowl, but it was too hot. Next, she tried the porridge in the middle-sized mother bear's middle-sized bowl, but it was too cold. Then she tried the porridge in the wee small baby bear's wee small bowl, and it was just right. So she ate it all up. When she had finished the porridge, Goldilocks wandered into the sitting room where she found the three bears' chairs. First, she tried the great big father bear's great big chair, but it was too hard. Next, she tried the middle-sized mother bear's middle-sized chair, but it was too soft. Then she tried the wee small baby bear's wee small chair, and it was just right. So Goldilocks sat down in the chair and broke it all to bits. Then Goldilocks went upstairs where she found the three bears' beds. First, she tried the great big father bear's great big bed, but it was too hard. Next, she tried the middle-sized mother bear's middle-sized bed, but it was too soft. Then she tried the wee small baby bear's wee small bed, and it was just right. So Goldilocks lay down and fell fast asleep. No sooner had Goldilocks fallen asleep than the three bears returned home. Their walk had made them very hungry, so they hurried right into the kitchen. Goldilocks had left the spoon in the great big father bear's porridge. "Someone has been eating my porridge," said the great big father bear in his great big voice. The middle-sized mother bear saw that the spoon had been left in her bowl of porridge too. "Someone has been eating my porridge," said the middle-sized mother bear in the middle-sized voice. Then the wee small baby bear looked at his bowl of porridge. "Someone has been eating my porridge," cried the wee small baby bear in his wee small voice. "And they've eaten it all up." The three bears hurried into the sitting room. Goldilocks had knocked the pillow off the great big father bear's chair. "Someone has been sitting in my chair," said the great big father bear in his great big voice. The pillow on the middle-sized mother bear's chair had been moved too. "Someone has been sitting in my chair," said the middle-sized mother bear in her middle-sized voice. Then the wee small baby bear looked at his chair. "Someone has been sitting in my chair," cried the wee small baby bear in his wee small voice, "and they've broken it to bits." Then the three bears went upstairs. Goldilocks had messed up the covers on the great big father bear's bed. "Someone has been sleeping in my bed," said the great big father bear in his great big voice. The covers on the middle-sized mother bear's bed had been messed up too. "Someone has been sleeping in my bed," said the middle-sized mother bear in her middle-sized voice. Then the wee small baby bear looked at his bed. "Someone has been sleeping in my bed," cried the wee small baby bear in his wee small voice. "And here she is." Goldilocks woke with a start. She leaped out of bed, jumped through the window, clambered down from the roof, and ran away just as fast as she could go. What happened to Goldilocks afterward, no one knows. The three bears never saw her again, and they lived happily ever after in their cottage in the woods. So that is the story of Goldilocks and the three bears. And I am going to talk to you about story sequence, which is the events that unfolded in this story, and how when you're listening to a story, you want to listen for the setting, characters, plot, and conclusion. So let's go over to the board and I will show you that. So when you are reading or writing a story, you want to start with the setting. So in Goldilocks and the Three Bears, the setting was in the woods in a cottage. So the setting is where the story takes place. So you always want to think about, are they talking about a town or a building or a certain state or city that the story takes place in? That is the setting. Okay, next we are going to talk about characters. Characters are the people or sometimes animals in the story. They're the ones that are talking, they're the ones that are doing things as the story is going along. So sometimes you may just have one or two characters, and sometimes you may have three or four or more. So characters tell us who is in the story and who's doing what. The next thing we're going to talk about is the plot of a story is the events that unfold. So that's what is happening once you find out the setting and the characters. So the plot tells you the steps in a story, the problems that the characters have, and how they're going to solve that problem. So in Goldilocks and the Three Bears, the plot was that Goldilocks just helped herself into the bear's home, and there was this series of events that happened where she tried their porridge and their chairs and their beds, and then the bears came home and had to figure out who had been messing with all of their things. So that is what we call the plot. The next thing we're going to talk about is the conclusion in a story is how the story ends. So as the plot's gone along, you've figured out what the problem is that needs to be solved, and the conclusion tells us how that problem has been solved. And a lot of times will tell us what happened to the characters in the end. So in Goldilocks and the Three Bears, Goldilocks ran out of their house as fast as she could, and the Three Bears lived happily ever after. So you know that the story concluded well because the bears were safe and they were happy and they were living their life. So that's the conclusion of a story. So we have setting, characters, plot, and conclusion. And that is all that I have for you today for this lesson. Thanks for watching.